There we go. Defaulted my microphone for some reason. Welcome in, everyone. Happy to see everybody here. Welcome in, JK. Let's make sure my other microphones, yeah. What's going on with the music, too? Weird. Did my audio cut out there for a moment, chat? Because it did in my ear as I was selecting what microphone I was supposed to be having over here. And that was the wrong one. Very weird how it's doing that. Like now the audio is cut out for me. I can't hear the music right now while I'm selecting what microphone. Now it's back. Very weird. But welcome in. We're going to be making Hermit cookies, which are sort of like, I should probably put them as like pumpkin spice cookies in the title, because that's pretty much what they are. Their primary thing is they're a spiced cookie. I'm going to be adding a bunch of dried fruit and ginger in there, but to each their own. I'm actually going to go with a little bit of a Canadian spin by adding some prunes. But I guess I should welcome everyone in. Hello, I'm Chef JT. I cook here on Twitch and YouTube 4 nights a week. And along with our Hermit cookies, I'm going to be doing stuffed shells. Just happen to have stuffed shells out here on the counter. Why did that stop? I am hopeful for a successful evening streaming tonight. I have had a royally frustrating day with everything else in the world today. You'll notice that I'm leaning on the counter pretty hard tonight, and that yeah, I spent most of the day just sort of beating my head against the wall, dealing with errors in scripts and not being able to figure out what the real problem is, and everything else just turning me in circles, changing the same things over and getting nowhere. But I am at least somewhat getting closer to having SprinkleBot working. Somewhat. My lower back has been just screaming all day. I hope everyone else has had a much better day. What's going on here? What's up with this dinner command? Dinner command, what's up with you? What you do? No, we don't need that. It's just those two, and I didn't do... There, fix dinner command. Why did it separate that as a separate line? You silly bot. You know, the term silly bot is probably something I never predicted I would have said as much as I have in my life when I was in like high school. Where's my flying cars? Self-driving flying cars. I've been gypped. Why aren't half of us living on Mars? Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. Cheers. And throw a little butter in the microwave here real quick. Just soften it up a little bit. I'm going to start off with our cookies tonight. Oh, dad joke. Your Windows jokes truly are your best. Welcome, Kojima. I do apologize to those on Twitch. I do not know why Twitch is punishing me and broadcasting me at 720p. If you would like to see a proper broadcast, you can find me live right now over on YouTube in 1080. Hello, Nandrator. Have you seen them before? Because it's quite an undertaking. I saw them when they came out in theaters, and I haven't seen them since. I'm not sure if that will resonate or not with chat. Welcome in, Will. Happy Friday to everyone. Thank you. Sounds like fun. Anything in particular? What's the party beverage of choice? Oh, I thought Europeans cared more about their beer than that. That's sort of my opinion. I'd probably just say just beer. It's one of the crowd pleaser ones, you know. There's people that are not going to drink it, but of those that partake, they're not going to complain too much, I don't think. I don't know, that's probably changed in the last 20 years here. Like, microbrewery boom. I am really wishing my back would stop hurting. I did take some super strong aspirin just before starting stream here, so hopefully it'll Stop hurting so much. What was I in here? Vanilla extract. Oh, hey, chat maybe want to see the mixture we've got here with the vanilla in there, our sugar and our butter. Now we've powered through breaking down the butter, we'll go back to using the spatula. Butter was just still a little too solid, that's why I got the metal spoon out. I've still been working on my... I'm going to be working on this bottle of whiskey in a moment, I think. We got 2 eggs in there. Dos huevos. I bought a big bottle of Woodford Reserve because it was cheap at Costco. Because it was cheap. Though I'm not convinced that that's the way to go with that, because... yeah. That would be bourbon, but bourbon is whiskey. It's just whiskey that was made in Kentucky in American oak barrels that were used for the first time. And is at least 50% corn, I believe. Trying to get this incorporated. I'm mostly trying to not use the whisk to do this, which... So, spices. Allspice. Cardamom. I bumped Wiggle on accident. we're making Hermit cookies tonight. Because in the United States, we have national holidays like every day of the year, so they're not all that special. But today is Hermit Cookie National Holiday in the U.S. And I guess they are they originated in New England and have spread. And I'm going to be adding some prunes to mine, but apparently that's more of a Canadian thing. But they're more or less pumpkin spice cookies. I'm adding some dried fruit. But this right here is really the whole story. I have no clue. But I'm now understanding why someone mentioned Lord of the Rings. And I apologize for not getting that reference earlier. We're going to throw in some crystallized ginger chips. Yeah, I watch a fair amount of Hermitcraft too. Which may have some influence in me celebrating the holiday, but I sort of celebrate a number of these holidays too, so I don't know. We got dried cranberries in there. These are soft, like, I haven't had these before, and these are looking and cutting so nicely. I mean, I know prunes have a horrible, like, PR, but I mean, they're dried plums. They can't be that bad. I think that looks about right. What do you think, chat? Pinch of salt. Oh, it's baking soda, not powder. I don't know if it comes across on screen or not, but I'm not, like, standing up straight tonight. I can't, like... Welcome, Shauna Vision. The game show can begin. I'm gonna go with that as is. Do I add raisins to the party too, chat? Ooh, no on raisins. Okay. You can tell these are cookies I'm not making for TwitchCon because I'm using my bare hand. I considered cherries. I thought the tartness of cranberries might work better with all the other stuff here than... I don't know, I guess cherries are pretty tart too. It's been a minute since my back's been like this. Yeah, I'm not... I've been on the floor, I've been stuck in bed before. We're not there yet, but... Why am I smelling burning? Ugh. And there's nothing in there worth worrying about burning. Captions sentient. Or not, Scramble sentient. Welcome, Smile. Working on making some dried fruit and fall spice or pumpkin spice or autumn spice cookies because it is National Hermit Cookie Day. So these have dried cranberries, prunes, dried ginger chips. We're waiting on the oven to finish heating up for those. I'm going to clean up my knife and the cutting board from the prunes. Nice. Yeah, that's sort of why I live in Northern California. I grew up with that snow stuff. I know some people love winter sports and all that, but no thank you. It's pretty for like a week if I don't have to drive in it. But otherwise, I'm okay without it. It's nice on the mountaintops, you know, out in the distance from the view. I've done all sorts of skiing too, for being someone that's such a curmudgeon about winter sports. And, like, none of it downhill. I went downhill skiing once and it was not a good experience. Yeah, so cold's good for you. I'm gonna start heating up water here to cook our shells too. Spinach, ricotta, sausage. Sausage. These are Italian, hot Italian. Spicy Italian, I think is what they actually use. Oh no, they don't even say any of that. It's just Italian sausage with white wine. I should I put a timer in chat that lets everyone know that while Twitch is only broadcasting my stream in 720, it's in 1080 over on YouTube, and it's the same feed. What's the problem, Twitch? The Twitch goodwill hangover from TwitchCon is over, I think. There is a flame underneath those, so those should start cooking at some point. Any frogs in here? Beetles, frogs, earwigs, Bueller. No hummus among us? I'm smelling this Italian sausage, and it is way too sweet for what... It doesn't have sugar, I don't mean that, but I mean as far as being an Italian sausage, it needs some heat. It's all wine, and so we're going to add some red pepper flake in here. Or I'm going to add some red pepper flake in there. You're just going to have to deal with it, chat. You know, I'm even going to add some cayenne. Chat's just going to have to deal with me adding spice to the Italian sausage, whether they like it or not. Flames off on that. Final hit of salt. Pepper. Whoops. Avalanche. Other salt. cookies going in the oven. Water's still heating up. Otherwise, I would get going with the shells. Give this a quick wash here. The bowl I used to make the cookies with. We're going to use it to make our shell stuffing. Which is going to be the combination of cooked spinach, that Italian sausage, and ricotta. Now see, something I think I'm regularly guilty of when I do things like this is I'll mix the stuffing too thoroughly. I think in many cases when it comes to stuffed shells, leaving the ricotta almost like as swirls in there, you know, like caramel and ice cream sort of a thing, is probably better than just mixing it into a homogeneous, you know, whatever those combination of colors come together to be. Probably not pretty. The Italian sausage probably does not do good things to the color of the ricotta. Alright, now let's turn some heat on here. That was just melting just on the heat of the pan. I just noticed I had fat on the side here. That's something you absolutely don't want with an open flame. You see this, chat? We filled up this container with spinach. You watching? Salt. We're gonna make this spinach disappear, not by making it spill out. It's already half. Now we're closer to a quarter. And now the flame's off on the pan. Pinch more salt. Garlic. We've got boiling water on the left-hand side of the stove. Oh, maybe we don't. I thought we did. It's close. Don't. Missed that one. So we got a ricotta here, but I'm going to allow that to just chill for a little bit. Allow this to chill out a little bit, so it's not super warm when we add that cheese. Shells are going in. And cookies are doing. Well, at least some of them are. Ooh. Fudge. Wow, my back. I want to give those another 2 minutes. So we have our first Hermit cookies of the evening. They're still soft, so. Someone was talking about snow earlier. At the same time, standing here sweating, of course that's more of a small house without central air thing. Cookies. Hermit cookies. Yep, that's the type of cookie. They're autumn winter spiced. It's National Hermit Cookie Day today. They are, on one hand, just basically a traditional butter sugar cookie, but they also have winter spices or fall spices, or modern day they'd call it pumpkin spices. And they have, sometimes they include nuts. I didn't include nuts in mine. I added candied ginger chips, dried cranberries, and dried prunes. The prunes being a thing the Canadians apparently do to their Hermit cookies. But besides the fruit and ginger, there is cardamom, cinnamon, allspice. What else did I throw in there? Nutmeg. We'll have to break into one of those after they get a couple of minutes to hang out over there. Meantime, we're doing this. Okay, that's all the stirring I'm doing with that right now, I think. How's our pasta doing over here? We can remove the lid, I think. We'll add a slathering of grated Parmesan in there. The real problem with where we are at with dinner tonight, we're probably going to have to take a little bit of a break here, which will be good because it'll give me a minute to sit down. But we sort of need a minute for these shells to cool down from coming directly out of the boil. So I think once we get these shells out of the boil, I'll get them in a situation where they can dry out and cool down a little bit. We'll take a break and I'll come back and we'll stuff them. I'm unsure how many times I've actually made stuffed shells. It's not a large number. I'd say I've probably done stuffed grape leaves more than I've done stuffed shells. Or at least I've done more stuffed grape leaves, because when you do stuffed grape leaves, you do like 500,000 of them. Not there just yet. Making a spinning Caesar salad, chat. Not really. We have any spinning Caesar salad aficionados in chat? Any lovers of the prime rib? Perhaps we have some Lawry's experts with us this evening. A lot of broken ones in this. Sadly. Might have to be creative. But we're going to allow them to sit there like that and cool down like that a little bit. And I think I am going to take myself a 10-minute break or so and go sit down and rest my back. Let's see here. Alright folks, I'm going to be back in a couple minutes here. I'm taking AFK. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
You are now looking at a slice of bread being spread with creamy style Skippy peanut butter, as only Mary Ellen can spread it there. All right, now, as you look at that, don't want you to leave me, because I want to show you something, believe it or not, that a lot of people like even better. Suppose we were to take some fresh roasted peanuts here, and like Mary Ellen has been doing all evening, and putting them in a nut chopper here. Give a couple more little chugs, will you, please? Mm-hmm. I think that'll do it. That's fine. Now you find in there some just tiny little golden nuggets of roasted peanuts. And they are colossal. Now, I want to try something here. Suppose we were to take these, now let me try an experiment, do you mind, honey? And we'd sprinkle them over the creamy style Skippy. Say, how is that, huh?
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good. All I did that for was to tell you that you can get that and enjoy it anytime you want. You won't have to go through any chopping process either, because the Skippy people do that for you in chunk style. That's done for you up in the factory. Now, chunk style, you see, has sprinkled all through it very generously through the entire jar those golden little nuggets that you saw there, just about like that. So that's already done for you there. Now, of course, either style, whether it's cream or chunky, if you get Skippy, you are getting the peanut butter that stays fresh right down to the last spoonful in the jar. And so I make it very simple again. I want you to know that this is an honest fact.
If you like peanuts, you'll like Skippy.
Satisfying, lots of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment right. Fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee, make it often, make it right.
To brighten any moment,
Make it coffee,
to enjoy that fresh aroma.
make it often,
Make it up fresh each time in a clean container, and for full flavor.
make it right.
And here's how. For each cup of fresh drawn water, use one approved measure of your favorite coffee. That's all, one approved measure per cup.
Satisfying cups of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment bright, fresh aroma. Friendly flavor. Make it coffee. Make it often. Make it right.
Something new has been added. The General Electric portable mixer now has a drink mixer for delicious shakes and juice drinks in quicker than a shake. An extra attachment at no extra cost. This GE portable mixer weighs less than 3 pounds, yet it's powerful enough to blend the heaviest batter. Also mixes sauces at the range. It has low speed for cookie dough, medium speed for beating frostings, and high speed for whipping egg whites. And look, this handy push button releases the beaters at a touch. And no dangling cord. You can remove the cord so it stores neatly on the wall. Comes in 4 decorator colors. See it at your GE dealers. Does any mixing job anywhere.
Here's the newest, most exciting sound in town. It's a General Electric blender that's going around. Completely new from base to lid. Take it apart, see what they did. The non-skid base is the lowest you'll ever see.
The decanter has a 36-ounce blending capacity.
The non-spill lid is really smart. For blending convenience, it comes apart. Add additional ingredients if you will. Look, no splash, see no spill. Put them all together and you know it's true. The General Electric blender is best for you. If you want to know another reason why,
It's only 10 1/2 inches high.
stores easily on the counter or on a shelf. There's 1,000 things you can make yourself.
Make party spreads.
Great cabbage heads. Blend the meatloaf for a family of 8. Make ice-cold drinks you'll appreciate. Now's the time for you to buy the General Electric blender.
Did he say only 10 1/2 inches high?
I'm a guitar and I have strings. I like to play while someone sings. Hi, gang. Do you recognize this mouse guitar? It's just like the one the Mouseketeers gave me. And now Mattel Toy Makers, the people who made my mouse guitar, have a big surprise for you. You can have your very own mouse guitar just like mine. And look, I wrote out all the instructions so you can learn to play the songs we play on the show. Remember, gang, you can now get the mouse guitar wherever toys are sold for only $4. Hey, I almost forgot. Be sure to see the Mouseketeer Junior, too. Just turn the crank and it plays the Mouseketeer theme song. The Mouseketeer Junior is only $1.80. Be sure to look for this label, gang. You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
Univac, the giant electronic brain made only by Remington Rand, takes business statistics from magnetic tape, letters, numbers, and punctuation marks, processing them through its electronic circuits at phenomenal speeds. Univac can compute payrolls electronically, then produce printed checks in a flash. Over 8,000 checks an hour with this high-speed printer. Univac leads the field of electronic computing.
Welcome back, chat. We'll give this one more sort of quick mix, and we're going to start filling our shells here as best I can. That does mean I need somewhere to put these shells, so I'm going to have to get out my pan for these. And I bought my tomato sauce for tonight. Do a thin layer on the bottom. You looking at, camera? Come over here. We'll start with the ones that are looking pretty good and work our way to the ones that aren't so pretty. Welcome in, Caldwell. I hope this is feeling better tomorrow. Shells are looking nice, though. For as broken as these shells are, they're filling up nicely. Thank you, Carl Dalt, but I should shut up because I'm not. I'm just whining. I don't even have any wine in the house. Well, I got port, but I grew up in a family of pun makers, so most certainly not the first time I've heard that one. And try to do 2 more here. And drizzle a little sauce over the edges here where the pasta is more likely to be exposed. Do a little hiding of any of our excess cheese around here. Why don't you want an open bag? Bit more grated parm over the top. Doing my best to protect any of the raw pasta from getting too exposed. And our oven's at 350, so I'm gonna wipe off the edge here and throw this in the oven. .20-minute timer on the stove. So who's curious what a Hermit cookie's like, chat? Hi, Head of Broccoli. This one looks picture pretty. This one looks pretty picture pretty. Let's look for one that looks good, but maybe not best on the camera. Nice golden bottom there. Nice and soft. Dry fruit. The ginger is sort of all throughout the flavor here. The ginger on these ginger chips is really mild, but it seems to have like permeated this whole thing. It reminds me actually quite a bit. My grandmother used to make like a gumdrop cake. This reminds me a lot of it. Delicious. I'm happy with the tartness of the cranberries in there too, but cranberry is a very fall autumn flavor too. Oops. Didn't mean to stop the music. I wonder if I can change that in my output here. Yeah, it doesn't allow me to change it unless I use a separate encoder. Darn you, Twitch. Why are you gonna make things so difficult? But that's yummy. I think those are great. Those cookies are delicious. I'm going to enjoy those. Maybe do them a little bit thinner. Depends on how you want them. If you want a like cookie that you get like a snap to, an actual bite to, you're gonna want them thinner. But I think they're delicious just like this. I also used prunes, which they're dried, but if you looked at them, they were not drying things at all. Head of Broccoli, you're still talking about cookies, right? Dope. Speaking of hermits and misunderstanding things, I was watching Tango's stream earlier today, and they got into this conversation about Halloween decorations and how you have those hot air molded plastic figurines, and they were talking about their blow models, and my mind immediately just thought they were talking about something entirely else. Which I'm certain was on purpose. Like, they know what they're doing. Because they were unsure what the proper term was for it, where, you know, you're using hot forced air to expand and model the plastic. Puppy, want a cookie? Did that get any dogs to look at stream? Almond windmills. Is that one of the very buttery, like, essentially a sugar cookie, but very buttery and then just shaped like a windmill? With almond flavoring? Almond flavoring wouldn't have been bad in these either. What kind of almond? That's another thing, like, the almonds you buy in stores are not the bitter almonds they use to make marzipan and stuff like that. And I like marzipan almonds a lot better than... They may be bitter, but... I don't really like raw or roasted almonds, but I'll like sit there and just like gnaw on like almond paste. I say marzipan and almond paste marzipan are pretty close cousins, but they're not always the same. And my mind goes back to whatever the heck it was. I was in a community college before I went to the Culinary Institute of America, and the community college in their culinary area, they had an almond paste there that we used in desserts and stuff like that. And that stuff was cheap and bad for you, but good. It's sort of funny with that. Like, the recipes that I remember from that school are, like, so many of them were so bad. And so many of them were designed for, like, industrial cooking. But there were occasional, like, diamonds in the rough that were like, where did you get this from? And I'm thinking of their cheesecakes, which they sold a ton of, and I absolutely rued cutting. But the almond paste and some of the things that they bought, and they had a great recipe for, it was essentially cake that was remixed into being bread pudding, but then they did a great whiskey topping to it, glaze to it. Thinking back, all the desserts are more memorable from that place because all the savory stuff was A, all over the place, and B, probably some of the not as good parts of the food. For the help. I haven't been able to replicate that bread pudding recipe outside of, because somehow he got a nice crust on it, despite it being quite serious. Like the head baker of the culinary department would quite seriously make marble cake and turn that into bread pudding and somehow get a crisp crust on the outside of it. We got another 7 minutes here on the first timer on that. I think I'm going to go sit down for another couple of minutes. My back is just... Thank you for hanging out with me, folks, tonight.
You are now looking at a slice of bread being spread with creamy style Skippy peanut butter, as only Mary Ellen can spread it there. All right, now, as you look at that, I don't want you to leave me because...
Satisfying, lots of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment bright, fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee, make it often, make it right.
To brighten any moment,
Make it coffee.
When you have a Labatt's, you have an adventure. Canadian Light. That's Labatt's. It's a great new taste in beer. Enjoy import quality at USA prices. Have an adventure. Have a Labatt's. Alexis Lachine wines are full of flavor. Alexis Lachine wines are dry. Alexis Lachine wines are mellow. Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food. Or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines.
Well, no wonder my laundry bill is so high. All those napkins last week.
Doeskin.
What?
You should use doeskin dinner napkins.
Paper napkins? Oh, no.
I don't mean thin little paper napkins, but doeskin dinner napkins. You'll love them.
Everybody loves doeskin dinner napkins. These soft linen-like napkins are 2-ply in smart formal fold, in white and in beautiful pastel colors. And doeskin dinner napkins are big. They cover your whole lap, and they stay put. What's more, they last throughout the meal, and they leave no lint.
They are nice. And they would save my linen.
They save you money, too. Doeskin dinner napkins cost only 49 cents for 5 dozen. That's a fraction of a penny apiece.
All right, Dottie.
You'll find doeskin dinner napkins, doeskin facial tissues, and other doeskin products at your favorite grocery, supermarket, department store, or drugstore. Look for the brown dispenser box.
Doeskin.
Yes, you can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as a giant atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now, wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
What are you doing here? You ought to be outside with the rest of the kids.
This is where Thanksgiving really begins, isn't it, Edgar?
Well, now, if you're referring to the aroma of roast turkey, I concur.
No, Ray, I was talking about the kitchen. It looks like a real center of hospitality.
Did you say hospitality?
Uh-huh.
That's one thing we're always prepared for around here. Help yourself.
Wouldn't this be a good time for you and your guests to have Coca-Cola, too?
Yes, and Coca-Cola is so delicious, so refreshing, so tempting to any guest when you bring out those familiar bottles with tiny beads of moisture running down their frosty sides, assuring you that the Coke inside is really ice cold. And the good, the gracious, the friendly homes of America are always prepared for hospitality, not only on Thanksgiving Day, but every day all the year around, no matter who comes to call or who happens to drop in. And one of the easiest, simplest, and surest ways in the world to be prepared for hospitality is to have plenty of Coca-Cola in your refrigerator, ice cold and ready to serve all the time. It's a wonderful way to say to folks, so glad you came. Welcome anytime.
If you're still watching television on a small screen set, you're missing a lot. Here, for example, is a close-up on a 10-inch set. See how much smaller it is than my head? Now I'd like to show you the same close-up on a 21-inch set. There. Just look at the difference. She's as big as I am now. You can have big screen close-ups just like that. Close-ups as large as life with RCA Victor's great new 21-inch model, the Master 21, at the lowest 21-inch price in RCA Victor history, as little as $199.95. Visit your RCA Victor dealer soon. See television's greatest value, the Master 21, big screen 21-inch quality TV for $199.95. And remember, every year more people buy RCA Victor than any other television.
Something new has been added. The General Electric portable mixer now has a drink mixer for delicious shakes and juice drinks in quicker than a shake. An extra attachment at no extra cost. This GE portable mixer weighs less than 3 pounds, yet it's powerful enough to blend the heaviest batter. Also mixes sauces at the range. It has low speed for cookie dough, medium speed for beating frostings, and high speed for whipping egg whites. And look, this handy push button releases the beaters at a touch. And no dangling cord. You can remove the cord so it stores neatly on the wall. Comes in 4 decorator colors. See it at your GE dealers. Does any mixing job anywhere.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's get the music going again. I know we're still in another ad here for another minute. You think it's ready to come out, chat? Is chat ready for it to come out? Sort of amazing how products sort of have that same sort of fall off scale. Like it's the whole, one of my least favorite terms in the entire world, chat, is planned obsolescence. And it sort of seems like the vast majority of things in this curve is getting quicker as I get older, where you start and they build things to last, to actually be worthwhile and sellable. And then they sit there and the accountants pull all the money out of it until it's fallen apart, but they'll still get the sale. Sort of like, I think it's going so quickly now that Tesla just went straight to selling a junk product. Sorry to the Tesla owners in chat. Your bottle is named Turmeric. Was it bottled in America? Or in an English-speaking country? Yeah, those weren't bad. Like, I would prefer that over... But that's how you ensure they're never cleaned. You permanently mount them to a surface somewhere. And we've got shells. Multi-tool. Multi-pass. Google's been pretty good at that lately. I don't know if you're using Google or not, but I keep seeing people posting memes of Google AI giving absolutely useless info. Things like someone asking how long it'll be until such and such time, and it'll be, that long until such and such time is the response from AI. It's a good thing that this is the dumbest that AI will ever be. It's a scary thing but it's a good thing. Well, let's take a photo of everything together here to start. Ooh. Welcome, Raiders. I apologize for what seems like a lack of alerts. May be able to catch up here. Welcome in, folks. I am actually getting to the big reveal here. We're almost done here tonight, folks. What I've made tonight. Welcome, Raiders. Dinner with Mom. What were we cooking tonight? What's everyone feeling hungry for right now, other than Italian stuffed shells and Hermit cookies? I've made a somewhat traditional, I don't know, I'm not Italian, stuffed shells. We have cooked pasta shells that I stuffed with a combination of spinach, Italian sausage, and ricotta. There's some Parmesan cheese, and they're coated in more Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella. There's tomato sauce on the bottom. And then our Hermit cookies, which are, today is U.S. National Hermit Cookie Day. Hermit cookies are sort of like pumpkin spice cookies. They are autumn, winter spice cookies. You got cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cardamom in there with that. And then I've got some dried fruit in there. There's some dried cranberries, some prunes that I chopped up. And prunes get such a bad name. They're just dried plums. And lastly, there's candied ginger chips in there, giving them an overall just delicious vibe. Shepherd's pie is yummy. Did I get a good photo of this? Let's try one more, just to make sure. Debating what I want to use for a plate here tonight, or bowl, or serving dish. How many shells should I go for, chat? I'm sort of thinking 4. I turned the oven off, didn't I? Nope. I think I'm not going to get all 4 of these out here nicely just like this, so I'm going to go for them individually. Now I sort of wish I had like a little basil plush to put in the center there. Let's break into one of these beauties. Crusty with the cheese on top, the Parmesan sort of sticking it all together, gluing it all together there. I'm glad I added the heat to the Italian sausage. It needed it. I think that's a winner of a dinner, folks. I think that is an absolute winner of a dinner. I do believe that is going to be it for me tonight, though. I'm going to go rest my back, and hopefully that'll be feeling a lot better tomorrow. Gonna be back here on Sunday. Gonna be doing duck. I've got a whole duck in the freezer. I've got a, I haven't 100% decided what I'm gonna do with it. I'm probably gonna be doing sauteed duck breast with maybe sweet potatoes, and we're going full on fall here this weekend. So it's either going to be sauteed duck breasts or I'm going to roast a whole duck. It's whether, like, I don't really know my full plans for the full thing yet. I gotta come together with a plan. Greatly appreciate everyone coming to join me tonight. Once again, I'm going to complain that I'm sorry that here on Twitch, apparently I'm at 720p. I am sending the same exact broadcast to Twitch and YouTube. And on YouTube, I'm at 1080, so, you know, blame Twitch. Let's see what we got out here in the world of Twitch tonight. See if there's someone to raid tonight. Awesome head of broccoli. It sounds delicious. Yeah. Duck and Peking duck and all of the things along that line are just... I'm not a huge fan of hoisin, but other than that, all delicious. I'm not going to be raiding out tonight. I greatly appreciate the raid from Dinner with Mom. Thank you for sharing your community with us. Gonna be back here on Sunday, as I'm repeating myself. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Go out and have some fun. Go do something interesting. Thank you for the follow. Good night, everyone.